Well, the stage is set for the busiest and the biggest day of the ongoing poll season, with all the 5 states and union territory. That is West Bengal, Kerala, Assam, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry are going to polls today. In Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry, polling will be held in a single phase, while it will be the third and final polling day in Assam. In Bengal, voting for the third phase out of 8 phases will take place today. Voting will take place for 234 assembly seats. In Tamil Nadu, the voting has begun. The state is witnessing a fierce battle between AIADMK and DMK, which is out of power since 2011 in the state. We'll also go across to our reporters and also get you first visuals of polling. Let's go across to my colleagues first. Let's focus on Tamil Nadu at the start of this bulletin. Madhav, our senior editor, is tracking. Kamal Haasan is joining us from Chennai. Shilpa is joining us from outside MK Stalin's residence. And we have Shabbir joining us from Chennai as well. I first want to go across to Madhav, our senior editor. Madhav, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, election polling taking place in a single phase. The fight is between AIADMK and DMK clearly.
Well, absolutely, Swati. There's no doubt this is the single biggest phase amongst all the 8 phases that are going to be seeing polling. And what is very significant is that in 5 states there's going to be polling. So the over 10 crore voters who will be casting their ballot today, over 6 crore of them will be just in the state of Tamil Nadu. And that is, of course, what makes this phase very, very crucial, very, very important. Now, I'm at a polling station where Kamal Haasan is expected any minute now to cast his ballot. Will he be able to make any kind of dent as far as Tamil Nadu politics is concerned? Remember, with the two fronts and the parties of AIADMK and DMK, the big question is whether the people of Tamil Nadu will be able or will really want a third alternative. Now, Kamal Haasan's campaign, particularly in Coimbatore South, has, of course, covered a number of issues, from calling his political rivals riot specialists to really in terms of the industrial town of Tamil Nadu, whether the small and medium enterprises and their dissatisfaction with the central government for various schemes and policies. Will Kamal Haasan be able to capitalize on all that is one key issue. And the most important factor is that in a state whose politics has been very closely linked with the film world, with cine stars in particular, will Kamal Haasan really be able to make a dent like other big names from the world of cinema in Tamil Nadu? That's the big question at this point of time. So very, very crucial that Kamal Haasan, who's going to cast his vote here, will be heading back to Coimbatore South later in the day with a special aircraft. And that is going to be very, very crucial to see whether it's not just his seat, but in neighboring areas also and other parts of the state, whether he's able to make any kind of impact, because that will be really the test of the entire campaign that he's been engaging in, virtually, of course, being present in the political field for over a year and a half. Will there be any impact on ground as far as Kamal Haasan is concerned? Today is a very crucial day in determining all of that. Swati.
Absolutely. Madhav, stay on with us. I want to go across to Shilpa now. It's been a decade in opposition for the DMK. They want to make a comeback, of course, but will it be a hat-trick for the AIADMK? Another big question that people are looking an answer to.
Well, absolutely, Swati. In fact, for the DMK, it's a do-or-die battle, and even for MK Stalin, this is a very prestigious battle and a test of his leadership, because this is the first election that the DMK is fighting without its Supremo M. Karunanidhi, and for Stalin, the state assembly election, of course, and MK Stalin is, of course, the chief ministerial candidate for the DMK, and as far as the DMK campaign is concerned, they've been very, very intensely campaigning in all 234 constituencies. It's not just MK Stalin, even other leaders like Udayanidhi.
Postal voting ചെയ്യാനുള്ള എഴുതി കൊടുത്തു. പിന്നെ ഞാൻ പാലക്കാട്ടായിരിക്കുമല്ലോ എൻ്റെ സ്ഥാനാർത്ഥിയല്ലേ. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ എത്തുന്നത് തീർച്ചയില്ല. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവരോട് തന്നെ പറഞ്ഞു സമയമില്ല, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് നിർബന്ധമില്ല പോസ്റ്റൽ വോട്ടിങ്ങിന്, ഞാൻ വന്ന് വോട്ട് ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. ആദ്യ വോട്ടിന് ഓർമ്മ ഒന്ന് പങ്കു.
All right, let's go back to Shilpa. Shilpa, please continue. We will be cutting to these live reactions as well, but please continue for now.
Well, Swati, I was mentioning that, we are outside the DMK chief M.K. Stalin's residence, and they are expected to leave from here in just a short while to cast their votes. Both M.K. Stalin and Udayanidhi Stalin, they will be going together is what we're given to understand. But as far as the DMK is concerned, this is a very, very important fight. They've been out of power for a decade now, and for that reason, it's a do-or-die battle. And even for M.K. Stalin, he has been someone who's been waiting for several years now. His father has groomed him for several years. He's worked very, very closely. He's been deputy chief minister once. But the DMK, of course, has been intensively campaigning in all 234 constituencies. It's not just M.K. Stalin, unlike in AIADMK, where it was only Chief Minister EPS who was doing the full campaigning. Here, it was M.K. Stalin, Udayanidhi Stalin, Kanimozhi, all the senior leaders went across all 234 constituencies and, making this a very, very important and prestigious fight for them. And also the DMK's campaign, of course, was an insider versus outsider campaign, and also saying that each vote for AIADMK is a vote for the BJP. The DMK primarily focused on the corruption issues, the issues such as NEET, the Tamil language, the rights, the states' rights which they claim have been surrendered by the AIADMK government, and also going on to say that, if AIADMK is voted back to power, then it will be again remote controlled by the BJP, by the central government, and that should not happen. Now, what gives the DMK camp a lot of confidence is, of course, the opinion polls that have come out. Almost every opinion poll has given the DMK alliance an edge, and for that reason, the leaders are extremely...
Absolutely. Shilpa, stay on with us. I want to go across to Shabbir as well. Major election, big election in the state of Tamil Nadu without the stalwarts, but the fight now, of course, is for their legacy.
Well, that's right. This is the first election without the two stalwarts of Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha and M. Karunanidhi. And in their absence, both the parties are fighting to claim their legacy. As far as Stalin is concerned, like Shilpa was pointing out, it's a do-or-die battle. So there you can see the first visuals of superstar Rajinikanth leaving his residence to cast his vote. And here we can... Sir, vanakkam. Sir, one question, sir. So there, superstar Rajinikanth, the first visuals of superstar Rajinikanth leaving from his residence and going to the Stella Maris polling booth where he will be casting his vote. And as far as, the people of Tamil Nadu are concerned, Rajinikanth is someone whom they know that he will be the first one at the polling booth in every election. So likewise, Rajinikanth has left from his residence. So like I have been, we have been pointing out that this is the first election without the two stalwarts of Tamil Nadu, Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi, and both political parties are trying to claim their legacy. In fact, for the DMK, like Shilpa was pointing out, it's a do-or-die battle. For the AIADMK, they have to ensure that the party and the government is under the leadership of EPS and OPS. So they have many issues post-elections to face, particularly the Sasikala factor that is giving nightmare for the AIADMK, because they are scared that if they don't perform well in the elections, then there will be a huge change as far as AIADMK is concerned. So that is something that the party is worried about in a post-poll scenario. Apart from that, there are many issues that the DMK has managed to bring out in public. Initially, the fight was it was a five-cornered fight between different political parties. But as the campaign progressed, it narrowed down between AIADMK and the DMK.
All right, Shabbir, stay on with us. We also have Deepak joining us from Coimbatore. I want to go across to him because the fight there is going to be very interesting. As far as the South Assembly of Coimbatore is concerned, from where Kamal Haasan is contesting, and he's chosen this seat where the fight is between him and Congress and BJP, and not the regional parties of Tamil Nadu.
Yes, like Shabir was pointing out, this is probably the first time that you're not going to have stardom take center stage in Tamil Nadu politics, especially with the two major parties not fielding anybody from the film fraternity. But it is Kamal Haasan who makes his debut this time, hoping to enter the Tamil Nadu Assembly from Coimbatore South. Here at this polling station where I am in Coimbatore, you can see right now voters turning out in large numbers. The temperature is being checked. Some of them are being offered gloves as well as they make their way inside. But what makes it very important is that, like you mentioned, it's a fight directly almost between Kamal Haasan and the BJP candidate here, Vanati Srinivasan. While I've been here for the last few days, they say that while the AIMK and the Congress has fielded its candidates here, but it looks like they are only going to play the role of eating away votes. So it's probably at the end going to be a contest directly between the BJP and Kamal Haasan. Kamal Haasan has been vehemently taking on the BJP, its policies and the centre's role in the state. He's spoken about corruption and various other issues. But will he really be able to make that connect with the people on the ground is the primary question. After he casts his vote in Chennai, he's going to once again come back to Coimbatore, visit every booth here, try to interact with the people is what we are told. Of course, he cannot campaign in any way, but he will hope that the election is happening in a fair manner, is what we are being told from his team.
All right, stay on with us. Let's shift focus to West Bengal now, where polling for the third phase also has begun, and our reporters are joining us from West Bengal to get us those first pictures of polling and, of course, more updates related to this phase. We have Mohit Sharma joining us on the broadcast from the Canning East seat. Tamal Saha joining us from the Diamond Harbour constituency. Shreyasi is also joining us live on the broadcast. I first want to go across to Tamal. Tamal, Diamond Harbour is Abhishek Banerjee's Lok Sabha constituency.
Well, that's right, Swati. A very good morning to you. And yes, the election has begun. The polling has begun in 31 seats which are going to polling here. I'm currently reporting from Diamond Harbour, as you rightly said. Diamond Harbour, the Lok Sabha constituency, belongs to Abhishek Banerjee, and also many consider him as the second in rank in the party. We know he has risen to the high excellence within Trinamool Congress, even at the cost of irking someone. But then, yes, this election would also prove as how much is the significance of Abhishek Banerjee as far as Diamond Harbour is concerned. Now, out of 31 seats which are going to polling, 7 are from Diamond Harbour, 8 in Howrah. You also have Hooghly, and out of all these 31 seats, as far as 2016 assembly election is concerned, Trinamool Congress was ahead in 29 of them. But in 2019 Lok Sabha election, Trinamool Congress was ahead in 29 of them, but in two of them BJP was ahead. So yes, it is a close contest between BJP and Trinamool Congress. As far as Diamond Harbour is concerned, if not back in October, it is the same place where JP Nadda, BJP national president, was en route to hold. Go
ahead, Tamal.
Well, yes, it was, this is Diamond Harbour is quite sensitive because JP Nadda, BJP national president, while he was on his way to hold a public meeting, his convoy allegedly came under the attack, and that had been a major face-off between Trinamool Congress and BJP. And we have seen BJP time and again had questioned Trinamool Congress as a party, the policies of the government, and has also accused Abhishek Banerjee of nepotism, of dynasty politics. At the same time, the most talked about these days, the alleged coal theft case. In fact, just a couple of weeks back, the CBI, which is investigating the matter, had also reached to the doorstep of Abhishek Banerjee to examine his wife. His extended family members have also been examined. We also know this election comes, or this polling, the third phase comes days after there had been a purported audio leak.
Okay, Tamal, stay on with us. I have to go across to Mohit Sharma. I believe he's getting us some latest updates. Mohit, over to you.
Well, Swati, we currently have Mr. Shaukat Maula with us. Sir, लगातार टीएमसी का कहीं ना कहीं पर्चा जारी रहा है. अगर हम साउथ 24 परगना की बात करें, आप खुद यहाँ से कैनिंग पूर्व से हैं सर. आप पिछली बार जीते भी थे, इस बार दोबारा से आपको टिकट दिया गया है. पहली बात तो ये इन चुनावों के बारे में क्या कहेंगे सर, अगर मैं एक सवाल ले सकूँ आपसे.
पीसफुल चुनाव होगा, कोई झमेला, कोई गंडगोल कुछ नहीं होगा. यही पर लोग सभी लोग ममता जी के साथ है जी. और ममता जी पिछले 10 साल में जो डेवलपमेंट करवा था वो हमारे लिए बहुत है, इसके ज़्यादा है। इसलिए कैनिंग पूर्व में और साउथ 24 परगना ने सभी लोग ममता जी के साथ है।
लगातार एलिगेशंस आती रही हैं कहीं ना कहीं बीजेपी की साइड से और अब अब्बास सिद्दीकी की साइड से कि टीएमसी जो है वो विरोध कर रहा है। जो लोग जो उन्होंने नए लोग खड़े करे हैं उनको कहीं ना कहीं अटैक हुआ है। कल रात को एक और एलिगेशन आई थी अब्बास सिद्दीकी की साइड से कि आपके कुछ लोग हैं जिन्होंने अटैक करा। तो ऐसी एलिगेशंस को कैसे आप जवाब देंगे सर?
देखिए, जब भी एग्नेस्ट पार्टी वीक है ना, वो उल्टे सीधे बात बोलती है। हमारे इलाके में कोई इंसिडेंट नहीं हुआ था, पिछले दिन नहीं हुआ, अभी नहीं हुआ। तो जो बोले, जो एग्नेस्ट पार्टी झूठ बोलेगा, उल्टा सीधे बोलेगा, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता। ठीक है, वो सारे दिन देखेगा तो कुछ नहीं, यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं होगा, शांतिपूर्ण से वोट होगा।
सर आखिरी सवाल है मेरा, साउथ 24 परगना की बात करें तो पिछली बार 30 में से 29 सीट जो है टीएमसी ले गई थी। इस बार क्या होने वाला है? क्या वो स्ट्रॉन्ग होल्ड जो है मेंटेन रहेगा या फिर जो बाकी की पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं दोबारा से अपना दबदबा यहाँ बनाने में सफल रहेंगी?
पिछले कुछ दिन देखा था, वो नरेंद्र मोदी जी आया था और अमित शाह आया था और दिल्ली का हर मिनिस्टर यहाँ पर आया था, लेकिन कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा। साउथ 24 परगना 31 सीट हमारा मिलेगा, ममता जी के पास रहेगा, ममता जी के साथ रहेगा, क्योंकि ये साउथ 24
claims they're being made by the TMC candidate. Thank you very much, Mohit, for getting us that reaction. I want to go across to Shreyasi quickly. Majority of the seats that are going to polls in this phase, in the third phase in West Bengal, are TMC bastions. Shreyasi.
Well, that's right, and that's because this time elections, of course, the South Bengal districts are going to polls, and it's very important because BJP is one such party who has not been able to make inroads in South of Bengal during the 2019 Lok Sabha when it made a massive jump from 2 MPs to 18 MPs. So South Bengal remains extremely crucial for the BJP because if they are looking at forming government here in West Bengal, they have to make inroads in South Bengal where they do not have any MP. Here in Hooghly, of course, we are in Arambagh where the SC seat, it's a reserve seat, and erstwhile BJP leader's wife, Shujata Mondal, is now fighting on a TMC ticket, and of course Soumitra Khan, her former husband, is a BJP Yuva Morcha president as well as an MP from Bishnupur, but this time she is fighting from the Trinamool Congress's party's ticket. And here, of course, people have lined up early in the morning. কাজ হয়েছে লাস্ট 10 বছর এখানে?
কি কাজ হচ্ছে? ওই হচ্ছে
যে ভোট দেবেন এখন কি মাথায় রেখে ভোট দেবেন?
এখনো চিন্তা ভাবনা কিছু করিনি, ওখানে গেটে যাই যে চিন্তা ভাবনা করব।
So people this time in West Bengal, some of them are not disclosing what kind of things they're keeping in mind for casting their ballot, whether or not it is BJP or Trinamool Congress. There are a lot of silent voters this time here in West Bengal who are not coming out and telling exactly what and which party they would be supporting. But of course, it's a very crucial phase here in the West Bengal election as South Bengal will remain the focus this time in the third phase.
Absolutely. And polling has begun in Kerala and Puducherry as well. We'll go across to our reporters joining us from Kerala and Puducherry on the other side of a short break.